Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Titancraft. We are up here in the above, and I kind of have an idea of something I want to do, something I've been wanting to do for a little while now, and I'm going to give it a shot and see what happens. I'm going to hop off the island. I'm going to hop off this island. I'm facing south here. I think when I hop off, I'll be facing south. I'm going to hop off the island, and I'm going to see if I can float the entire way all the way back to my base from spawn. Basically just to see, I guess, the server between spawn and my base. My base isn't that far from spawn, and I've been wanting to try this for a while. I wanted to see if I can float from spawn all the way to my base without having to land once and without having to use rockets. I'm not sure how that'll work out. If I need to use a rocket to stay up, then I guess I will. But when we drop off the island here, we'll be starting off super high up in the air. We're going to gently and slowly just drift off into the south to our base and see what we see along the way. So let's see what happens as I dive bomb down here. Okay, so we're super high above the clouds right now. We're facing south. We want to go slightly southeast. Now, this is another thing. I don't entirely know where my base is, the coordinates. I think I have a general idea of the coordinates, but I'm not like 100% sure of the coordinates. So we're probably going to be not seeing much for a little while here. I think that is the entertainment district we're flying over right now. That is Catan, which is very cool. Someone built Catan on the server outside of the entertainment district. Looks like someone's base is off there on the right there. We're slowly coming out of the cloud level. I think my base is in the 2000s on the Z-axis. And I don't know exactly where it is on the X-axis. But if I see any landmarks, I might be able to tell where we are. There are a few things sort of around my base that I know exist, and I'm not sure if I'll see them in there. Wow, okay. Wow, that was quick. That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. We're way closer than I thought we were. Wow, we're way closer than I thought. We're here already. That was super easy. Okay, well, there's the finished rig 1 that we finished last episode, and we are now going to come over to rig number 2 and talk about what we're going to do for this episode. That was a lot easier than I thought it would be, and I thought I would see more along the way, but we spent so much time above the clouds that we didn't see much. But anyway, like I said, welcome back to Titancraft. In this episode, we are going to work on this second... We are going to work on this second rig here. We're not going to just leave this storage system all out in the open. We're basically going to be building this one big building that's going to cover the entire storage system. It's also going to have a full interior. It's going to have a few floors. There's going to be some things on the second floor of this as well. And then there's going to be a bunch of stuff surrounding this main building. Unlike this one over here where it's a whole bunch of buildings jammed together, this is going to be one building kind of centered on here, with a ton of like extra little details kind of sprinkled around that one building. And I've marked out some, like, this is where pillars are going to go right here, all around here. These have like lights under here to help light the area. And you might have noticed also that I also built a surface to this. This was all like just not filled in before, but this is all a walkway now. I did a little bit of work on the floor beneath here. So there's a little bit of a floor down there as well. Something else we also might just take care of in this episode, because I'm really eager to get a lot of stuff done, because we don't have a ton of time left on the season. And I still have a few things that I want to do still. So I just want to get as much done as I possibly can in one go. So we might also make the connections from this rig to that rig. So we can just kind of get that out of the way and have something, at least something starting to be connected here between the two parts of our base here. And I'm really excited to see this come together. The build that's going to come here is going to be based off a real-life building. I'll kind of show you the building that it's based on, the real-life building that it's based on when we are done building it. But it's a really big building. It's really cool. And I've kind of brought it down to a scale that I think works really well with this rig here, with the second rig here. I don't have too much else to say here at the start. Kind of want to just get right into building, kind of get right into getting some blocks laid down for this building here, because it's going to be a big build, another big build that is, and it's going to take a while to finish up. So let's go ahead and get started on this build. Basically what I'm doing right now is breeding up some new villagers. I've already moved a bunch of farmer villagers over to the new rig over there that we've been building, and then zombifying and curing them, and then setting them off on their way to the new rig. This new guy is arriving. We go ahead and watch him go into place. And there we go. I only need 5 more to fill in the rest of these spots. And then we'll have a whole farmer villager hall up here above the storage room. Now look at that. All finished. This building is complete. We've got a little bit more to add around this building, but the building itself is complete, and I'm super happy with how it turned out. I really love this building a lot. I just think it looks so cool. I love the texturing, I love the shapes, and I love the roof. Let's come on up here and take a good look at it from above. It's got a lot of really cool stuff going on for it, and I really love how it looks on top of this rig here, this orange rig, and I think it's just going to look really cool the more we add to it, which we are going to do in this episode as well. But first, let me take you through a little walkthrough of this thing. So this is based on a real-life building. I'll go ahead and pop some pictures on the screen now of what that real-life building looks like. I think I did a pretty okay job of translating it. Obviously, it's not a direct translation, just like any of the other buildings that I've been making. It's just kind of inspired by the shapes and the look and feel of that building. And I really like these like sandstone and birch shadings going on down here. I really like how this building looks, especially from afar. I think the shading just looks really nice. It's like it's a little bit darkened underneath all of the overhangs. I just think that like gradient down looks really cool. And if you look around the whole building, it's kind of about the same all the way around. The back is a little bit different. Doesn't have an entrance. The only entrance is in the front there. And then you'll notice out the sides, each of the 3 sides other than the front have this going through it. As we fly through here, you can kind of see a little bit of the interior. There's going to be train tracks coming through here. Another like kind of little train stop for the workers of this factory, this company out here on the ocean. It'll eventually connect up to these train tracks over here. I can't wait to do that connection, which I actually might do at the end of this episode. We'll see how much time is left over at the end. And now coming back down here, let's take a little bit of a walk through the building and show you some of the interiors that I've been working on. Now, this is just completely out of my own mind and not based on anything, unlike the outside. This is just like these giant, like cool gear wheels that are like going all the way through this whole thing. So like from down there all the way up there. And we'll kind of see that as we go through. So this is the main room, and this is all of our main storage here. The storage system is behind all of these chests, as you've seen. You can kind of see it when you come through here. Kind of get a good look at these parts of the storage system that don't necessarily need to be accessible. I do have ways to get to all of the different parts of the redstone that do need to be accessible in order for me to troubleshoot anything. But we've got in these pillars here, we've got crafting bench and stone cutters in each of these. We've got in the center here, we have ender chests, and we have these chests here, which I'm really excited about being in this wheel here. I really wanted a place to put some of this stuff, like above loot. I need to move all of my above loot from the starter base to here, along with like all the mini blocks we have. I want to have a place for potions where I can just grab potions that I need, and backup gear just in case I die in the above. I imagine this will be like my main place where I have my spawn set, and I can come here, grab anything I need, grab backup gear, grab anything extra that I need, and head back to the above. Let's real quick go downstairs to the lower redstone area. That's up. If we go over here, each of these sides has elevators that either go down or up. So there's the downstairs of the redstone. So we have access to like all the different things in this redstone that we need to be able to access. Some stairs over here to access all the filters and all that kind of stuff. And then, yeah, the wheels, the cog wheels go all the way down here. And I kind of put this hole in the ground here. You're not really supposed to like hop over here and like look at this. I don't want the player to like go down there and look at anything at all. So I just stopped it here. And I think it looks really cool. I'm really happy with the way these two rooms connect. I was really worried about how this would look and how this would turn out with so much redstone, like having to build around so much redstone and like 2 floors of redstone, basically. Let's come back up here. Then we can come over here. Let's go up here. And this is how we can access some of the redstone back here. There's a bunch of different access points, a bunch of different like random elevators to access different parts of the redstone back here. This leads up here, which is a farmer-villager trading hall, which I showed you a little bit before, me putting all the villagers in here. I've got a few automatic storage systems up here. So below us is the slime farm and the skulk farm. So I have slime coming up here. I just emptied this and moved all of the slime blocks over to the main factory. And then I haven't run the skulk farm yet since I added this storage here. But all of the skulk stuff will automatically come up here as well. And then I have pumpkin and melons being created up there, which I'll show you. And I have lots of those now, which is great. I need to craft all these melons into melon blocks. That's why I moved the farmers over here, so I could trade those with all of these villagers. All of these villagers have both a pumpkin and a melon trade. So I can get lots of emeralds, get lots of XP whenever I need to. It's a super quick and easy way to get XP. Super quick and easy way to get golden carrots, glistering melons for potions. It would be really nice for apples. Some of these guys have apples, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, apples for making golden apples, which I use a lot in the above. And actually, if I think I have a couple of emeralds in here, let me go over here and just buy some golden carrots from this guy. So what I have set up here is I have this little like water stream that goes underneath of all these guys, underneath this trapdoor. For all of these, and if I throw stuff in there, so let's just throw emeralds in there, throw the golden carrots in there, and those will automatically get sorted into this sorting system here for emeralds, golden carrots, apples, blistering melons, and anything miscellaneous that gets thrown in there. So nothing will get destroyed if I threw anything in here and it didn't belong in any of these categories. It would just automatically get sorted here. There's our emerald. I don't know. I think our golden carrots were probably not filled up all the way. Let me drop half a stack more in, and we'll see it eventually. I think the sorter still has to be filled up. But yeah, so we have this room here, which is like just a nice open room. I really didn't know what to do with the space, so I decided to move all my farmers here, put more farmers in here, and just have a couple sorting systems and some decoration. And I think it ended up working out pretty nicely. I'm glad it's not just like an empty space, because I really hate having just like random, completely empty spaces without any decoration, without anything going on. This would just been too big of a space to not have anything going on at all. Yeah, there's some golden carrots. They got sorted from what we just threw in. If we come out here, we come to the back out here. Looks like I missed a block right here. Whoops. But yeah, we can come around here. This is the water stream bringing slime and skulk up from our farms. We come through here. We're back inside of this little train station area where we have the last gear coming up from below. So all of the gears connect up to this one. We got a little like seating area here for people to wait for the train maybe, or take breaks from working. We have these like little closet rooms over here. I don't really know what I would do with this. This is like one of those spaces where I'm like, I wish I could do something with this. I really don't like having empty spaces, not being anything at all. But I'm not sure what to put in here yet. We'll see. Maybe just like extra storage or something. I don't know. We do have another one over here as well. Just another empty room. And then this is how you get back down to the main storage room. But let's go ahead and go back up and take a look at the next floor, which is above the villager farmer hall. Up here we have melon containers and pumpkin containers, which I'll show you what that means in a second. I did also want to show you this. This is just extra shulker storage. I don't have anything in here yet, but I decided to put a little shulker undying station in here like I have in the first rig, in the main factory rig, just in case I need to undye any shulkers. So I like my shulkers to be stored undyed, but then I like to dye them for projects and stuff, but then undye them when I'm done. I mean, dyes are so easy to get, so I don't really mind, and I just prefer working that way. So coming up here to the pumpkin and melon farms, we have our storage containers containing the pumpkin and melon farms. If I like break this, you can see I just picked up a whole bunch of melons. We have our melon farm in there and our pumpkin farm underneath of all of these. Now, since this is the storage rig, we have lots of storage containers up here. They've been moved up here to be stored and sorted, I guess. And we got one up there that's kind of like being lifted from the ceiling. I don't know, but it's being lowered down or moved up. But I really like the kind of life that gives to the overall room. And I mean, this room is mostly just for show. The only thing in here really is the pumpkin and melon farms, and the rest is just decoration. Speaking of decoration, you might see that thing in the back of me right there. I'm really, really proud of it. This is one of the first like little vehicles I've ever tried to do myself. I built this little thing from scratch, just from looking at reference pictures online of like little forklifts like this. And I'm really, really happy with how it turned out. I think it looks really cool. One thing I really like about it is because these are signs back here, you can just like walk through them, sit in the driver's seat here, which is really cool. Not very good at vehicles. I'm not very, practiced at vehicles, but I really like this little thing. We also have a little walkway out here, a little balcony where we can look out to our raid farm. And there's also another one on the other side as well, where it looks out to the other direction, which is just lovely. Lovely view here. And now we can actually come off here and take a look at the roof, which I really enjoyed putting together. I really love all the little details in this roof. I love all the little windows, all the light it lets through, all the like differently shaped windows and stuff. I just think it look really, really cool. I put some like typical industrial roof stuff up here, like this like vat of whatever this is. Some like industrial looking panels and fans and all that kind of stuff. And then to top it all off, this flag. The building in real life has a flag on top of it in the center like this. And I thought it looked really cool and thought it would be really nice to kind of include that as well. And I really like the sort of waving motion that's going on here. I think it looks really nice. Something else that I want to add on to this building, add on to this rig around this beautiful stark white building that I think will go really, really nicely with it. I showed you the storage containers and the roof up there. Well, this is the storage rig. So what I'm thinking is we're going to surround this building with a whole big pile of storage containers, kind of like wrapping around the entire thing. I want to do these like metal supports going all the way around the entire building, coming out of the entire building, and then on the metal supports is just like piles of storage containers, mixed brightly colored storage containers that will just like give tons of pops of color, just like surrounding this white building in the center. And I think that'll look really cool. And I think it'll make the storage rig in general just look really, really awesome and really tie the whole thing together. I can't wait for you to see how it turns out and how it looks. In fact, let me just go ahead and show you right now. It is all completed. The whole outside of this rig number 2, the storage rig of our base here. I have added a whole bunch of storage containers all around the outside of this. Just all this wonderful like color on these deep slate supports, these like metal supports here, storing the storage containers, holding them for, I guess, a ship to come by and take them away, waiting to be processed and taken to where they need to go. And I put some little extra details in here, like this one here is being like kind of like lifted up by this lifter thing right here. We've kind of got another one of those over here as well. These like lifter things that like I guess would be used to lift them up higher. And I kind of try to make it not very symmetrical because the whole thing is very symmetrical. I guess the rig technically, like this side is slightly different from this side, but it's still pretty symmetrical and it is the same going all the way around it. This whole like design here is the same going all the way around it. And then this building here is completely symmetrical other than the brick thing that holds the storage brain. So I really wanted to make the storage containers not be symmetrical and have them kind of like randomly, like haphazardly thrown around this building to kind of give it a slightly more unbalanced feel. That's what what I was going for, because I really like the unbalanced and asymmetrical feel that the rig 1 over there, the factory, has. And I really wanted to get that same feeling here. Instead of like a bunch of buildings all mashed together, I wanted this to be one building and then a whole bunch of cool like storage containers, big pops of color, just surrounding the entire thing. And I really, really like how it turned out. I think it turned out really, really nicely. One thing that I forgot to show when I was doing an initial tour of the whole thing is showing the under part of this rig, this kind of like downstairs maintenance area. And you can kind of like walk in here and kind of see this from underneath. There's a few little details here, but around the whole perimeter of the building are ways to get in and out of this under part here. So if we come down here, I'll take you down here, and now this whole area going all the way around the whole thing is completely decorated. It's these like little walkways going all the way around, and if you come down here, if you were to like boat up to the rig, kind of come up here, come up a ladder, and then you can enter from any of these corners of the rig and then go through the doors here and just kind of walk around the perimeter. And I added some like cool little like industrial like pipe details all around. Each one is slightly different from the others. Some things that are like slightly similar, just like random pipes going everywhere. This is another way up right there. And as you go around, you can just kind of see how the different little areas differ, but are also kind of similar, just with slightly different details. But then we also have here our way down to the slime farm, so I could like just check on that if I ever needed to. It's not completely closed off to me for any reason. There's another ladder up. And I actually have the same thing for the Skulk farm. This is actually a bunch of stuff that I forgot to put back in the storage because I was working on these downstairs areas, and I had to put this pipe in. This pipe is actually what brings slime. There we go. Some slime balls just popped up to me. Slime and Skulk stuff up to the storage upstairs. It'll shoot it up here and bring it up to that storage I showed you earlier. We can actually see a way down to our Skulk farm here. So this is how we can get down to the Skulk Farm, and like that one, we actually have to run manually. So I do have to go down there to run that. As we come around to one of these corners, you can kind of see we're on this front corner now. And if we come through here, this kind of has like multiple rooms to it. These corners have multiple rooms to them, and they have these little like storage closets here, just kind of for decoration, not really actually storing anything in them. And then this one is this cool like little, it's like the front one, and we enter it, you see this little like RH for red herring. And it also leads into this corridor here, which on either side, this is the same on either side. There's some bathrooms for the employees that work here, and then an entryway here to the underside of the storage system, which I've showed you before. That's the whole storage rig, fully complete. This whole rig is done, and I am quite happy about that. And there's one more thing I want to do in this episode. I know it feels like probably we're doing a lot in these episodes, probably going to be a lot of like building and a lot of time lapses and like jumps to big progress in builds. And the reason for that is I moved across the country like in between the last episode and this episode, basically. And I've been away for a while. The season is really getting along in age, and I'm just like worried that I don't have too much time left, maybe a few months. And I really just want to get as much done as I possibly can. I don't want to wait. I just need to get as much done as I can in every episode, no matter how much building we have to do. I'm sorry if a lot of it's off screen. I really got to get stuff done. So we're going to do something else right now in this episode, something that will start connecting up all of these different spots out on the ocean. And then we can move on to the next big thing, which will probably be back there, covering up the gold farm, the third rig in this whole collection of rigs. But I want to start making the connections between these two rigs especially, but then also starting to branch out from either side of this one, and just really starting making those connections here. So let's go ahead and jump right into that. We end the video off with a completed set of bridges here. Not just these two, but the one in the back as well, going towards the raid farm. So we can kind of get a sense of what these are doing. Obviously this one is connecting to that, but this one is going to connect to the raid farm and then do a similar curve to that one over there, curve around the raid farm and go to, hopefully if we can get it done, another rig right here in the ocean, actually maybe a little bit farther out, like right here, that will actually also have a bridge connection from this one. That's why there's a bridge, that's why there's a train track coming out here. That's supposed to go to wherever that rig ends up being, and that's gonna curve and connect to that one as well. So there's still a lot of work to do to finish this base off. We still need to build that entire rig, and we are also going to build the entire rig around the gold farm in the next episode, I believe. As you can kind of tell, they're each like a little bit different. Like the color palettes are a little bit different for each one, not just the rigs themselves, the bases here, but also the color palettes and the styles of the buildings on top. They're all a little bit different, and this one's going to be a lot darker, so I'm excited about that. But this bridge is what's going to connect that one to the storage rig here. I'm really happy with this bridge design specifically. I just think it looks really nice. I really think the curves here, this like corner curve, I'm especially proud of, like how I was able to get this to look. And these like curves underneath, I feel like it really has this like great like metal, dark metal, like wrought iron look to it. It kind of gives a nice like visual connection between all the different styles that are going to be built out here. like these styles are very different, but then the bridge kind of like carries its own theme throughout all of them. The bridge is going to be the same all around the whole thing. It's going to be kind of like not just a bridge between the rigs, but also a bridge connecting styles together. And I just kind of like the absurdity of it as well. These like oil rigs that have been decommissioned have had factories built on top of them, and now have had bridges built between them. I just think it's a cool idea, and I think it turned out really well. And it's also really fun to just like walk around. I've been like just kind of like running between this rig to this rig, and then running around to the edge of the other one on the other side. And I just feel like it's so cool to have a base that's totally traversable by foot, even when it's like this big. It's on top of the ocean, and there's so much going on, but you can get everywhere on foot, and I just really like that a lot. Anyway, that is pretty much all we've got for this episode. After lots and lots of building and lots of progress being made. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you like the builds and are excited to see the next build we do over there at the Gold Farm. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time for more Titancraft. Thanks for watching, everybody.